Good morning to Brazil. Good afternoon to Romania. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Monica and Adina, to speak about one more COIL project that we are going to launch this semester.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? This is a global transmission. Hayek will be live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the show.
Good morning again to Brazil and good afternoon to Romania. It's a pleasure being here with you. We are here with Adina. Please forgive me or correct me, Adina Sanyuta from SNSPA in Romania, and our very own Professor Monica Somandroiu from, she's actually native from Romania as well, but she's teaching at Hayek Global College. She is also an entrepreneur in the US, so you have different natures here together. It's a pleasure being here with you. And in a first moment, I would like for you to introduce yourselves, tell us a little about your own background, about your home university, about your international experiences, so we can start talking about the project and, the impact that it can create.
So then I will start. Good morning, Brazil. Good afternoon, Romania, Bucharest, or other cities in Romania. Welcome to my home, because here is my home. You can see the background. I'm a lecturer at the University of Political Studies and Public Administration, actually at the Faculty of Management, and I'm teaching there majors as marketing of innovation, innovation management, employer branding, and we will dive into this topic a little bit later, I guess. I have also a background as an entrepreneur and also a marketing specialist in different organizations, from international to Romanian organizations, and also a background as a politician. I've been for 10 months a state senator here in Romania. And I'm very happy that I can join this project, and I'm looking forward to meet also the students and to share from my experience and also from the experience of some entrepreneurs from Romania. Thank you. That's all. I'm waiting for the questions.
Thank you, Adina. Monica, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on the time zone where you are. My name is Monica Somandroiu. I'm from Romania. I studied philosophy. I'm a Hayek MBA alumni, and my background varies from human resources to human resources management to football, entrepreneurship, retail, politics, and right now I'm teaching at Hayek Global College, and I couldn't be prouder and more excited to be part of such an amazing team. Thank you very much.
Thank you both. I'm always, when I'm starting those lives, I'm excited and I'm honored to be here with whom is starting or launching yet another project, because I feel these projects are very important for our students, and somehow they come from an experience that, let's say, Edson and me feel that would be important for our students to have that international connection. But I'm sure Monica and Adina also will agree with me that that is one of the greatest value that you could get from a project where you working together internationally. So Adina, tell me, did you have any international experience before, like working or studying or something like that?
Yeah, actually working. I've been working with, as I said, with international companies such as IBM. one big corporation. I worked also with some companies that had a headquarter in Austria, but also, as I said, with some entrepreneurial initiatives here in Romania. And also, I had the chance to teach last 2 years ago in Belgium at Vives University. I had there a course. And also this year I was part of a project called Civica, where more than 5 universities around Europe participated in a large workshop here in Bucharest at our university. And I had there a topic. Actually, I talked with some entrepreneurs from Romania about how innovation is born, how you can deal with innovation as a startup, and also how you can bring these products on the market. And it was very interesting to hear also the perspectives from students from different countries in Europe. It was only Europe based, but it was interesting for me to be in contact with these different perspectives.
Yeah, even being just in Europe, I'm sure there is quite different cultural perspective and context, right? And when we are doing the virtual exchange, but also in-person exchange, then probably one of the skills that we get from that is like that we are being better prepared for the labor relations or the negotiations that we make once we are being either an employee or an entrepreneur. So how do you see that? Well, Monica said that she'll be back in 30
Yeah,
seconds.
in
So,
30 seconds. Yeah, actually,
yeah.
I think the students, also your students, and also the students will be from SNSPA and also other universities from Romania, have these huge opportunity nowadays to work with different cultures. Opportunities, for example, that I didn't had when I was a student, and I had to read a lot about, I don't know, about Germany, about Austria, about colleagues from US I work with in IBM, or colleagues from India. And I didn't had the occasion during the faculty to be involved in such projects. And I think it's a good start, actually. Even if we talk about labor or we talk about entrepreneurship, is a huge chance to have a contact in another country. And nowadays, when we are talking about business, we can't say that we will develop a product only for our country. I think it's like 10% of the cases when you develop a product only for the domestic market, but you have to think globally. So if you have a point of contact in Brazil, for example, or you have a point of contact in US, in other country of Europe, it's much easier for you as an entrepreneur to write a message on WhatsApp, or I don't know, on LinkedIn, and to say, hey, I need some information about the country. I know I need I need a contact in the government, maybe, or I don't know about the product is about. And but actually these relationships are more important, or actually are equally important as the trade relationships and the diplomatic relationship, because you can handle economic relationship from a personal perspective, and you understand better the culture, you understand better the customers, and so on. Okay, nowadays we have access to internet, we have access to artificial intelligence, and we can have like reports about any country, but the human contact is still remaining the most important one in business. This is my perspective, and I think it will be also in the future for those who want to have real businesses, dealing with real customers and dealing with partners.
Absolutely. And I mean, I remember that one MBA class that I gave on human resource management, and one of the modules or one of the classes was about culture and communication.
Mhm.
And one of the students would say something like, no, but I already know this, it's nothing new to me. And then, like, after 2 months or so that we were into the MBA class, and we are getting to the end of it, he was like, Wow, it's like in the beginning I thought I already knew everything, but right now I'm feeling like I know nothing, as there's so much to learn about how to read at different cultures, how to, adapt to different cultures, how to adapt your communication. Monica, do you want to add something? We were just talking about the value of this international communication, international relation, actually, that you could get out of an COIL project.
Thank you very much for apologizing my absence for the 30 seconds. Um, I would only add that for me, uh, the most international experience, so to say, was the Hayek MBA that I took, and it really showed me how similar we are as human beings. And because at some point I also got to meet my colleagues, and we would replicate during the online sessions what would happen in a real class. And it was just as, again, just as in real life and as in my own culture, it was about people sometimes starting their own groups and sharing things apart, sometimes even during the class, though we do not encourage that behavior. So and the most important thing that I learned, being an international student, was the fact that I could trust the other people. That I do not speak their language, even if I don't share their culture, I can trust them. It happened to me one time, and I'm sure that everybody attending this session must have had a similar experience at some point. Um, my internet connection failed during a presentation of a book that we had read. It was Blue Ocean or something like that, and my colleague took over instantly. There was absolutely no problem that I couldn't attend that session. So I learned how to trust people from other cultures. This was the message.
Yeah, and I think is another advantage of this kind of projects is that you go beyond stereotypes, because okay, you know about German something, you know about American something, about Brazilian something, but it's like maybe you heard, you watched in a movie or something like this, but when you are working with those people, it's more about trust. And I had this experience also during my experience at IBM, because I said, okay, maybe Germans are more are not so friendly, for example. And when I was visiting Munich, one of my colleagues invited me to have a coffee, but actually she invited me at her house. And this is about trust, because you are with somebody and you have trust in her or in him in order to bring that person at your home, knowing your family, your children, and so on. And this actually is like diminishing boundaries between us. As I said, we read, we watch movies, and so on. We have different maybe perspectives in our head about people around the world, but when we met, then it's all about working together and actually creating something. Although it's a course, maybe a product, and as I said, it's a good opportunity for internationalization of the businesses, because you don't know where a good market can be. And for sure, your own market, your domestic market, where you start the project, the idea, is not enough nowadays.
Absolutely, and you were talking about the human relations, right? And this is where we come to the project, or where we come to the main topic of the project, maybe, where you're going to talk about human resource management at some point, right? You want to talk a little about the project, what you're planning to do?
Yeah, actually, I think Monica can start, because she will be the master of the of the course, and I will be like in November, as far as we established, we'll have a topic about employer branding. But I will let Monica to do the introduction, and after that, I will add about employer branding and why it's important for an organization to take care and to nurture also the employer branding part, not only the commercial one.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Thank you so much, Adina. So the COIL project that we designed is going to bring together students from both Romania and Brazil for 4 weeks. It's going to be a virtual collaboration, and they will explore how companies in both countries can attract and retain talent through employer branding. They will have a group presentation pitching a fictional or a real company to an international audience. We will also have some guest speakers, and we will try to see the different perspectives. We will try to see the different perspectives, the different cultural perspectives when it comes to employer branding.
Okay, thank you, Monica, for the introduction. Yeah, actually, this is not maybe it's a new topic or like a fresh topic for lots of or also students, but also companies. Is actually employer branding is developed after the commercial one. Lots of employees are are applying, or they want to apply for a company who has a strong commercial brand, but it can be not it can be like cases like companies where the employer brand is not equal with the commercial one. Maybe you see like a very glowing commercial brand, very nice, very respected, and so on. But in the interior of the company, inside, the things are not working like this. And what employer branding is doing is actually to align these values of the commercial brand and also the values of the company with all the organization. Is also part of organizational structure, is also about organizational culture, but it's also about that the stuff, the things you see when you apply. You see a website, you see a way of communicating with the future employees. You see the way how you see the way how the interview is running. You see the induction part, and you hear also good stuff or bad stuff about the company. And this all means employer branding. Actually, you have to care also about your employer branding, and it's very important, for example, also for companies who are not known on the market due or because of their commercial brand. For example, you know about Nike. Then if you want to work for Nike, you want to work there because you know Nike is a huge brand, a very known brand. You want to work for Coca-Cola, you want to work for, I don't know, for Apple, because you know the brand, you own a phone and you want to work for it. But maybe you can work also for, I don't know, a company who is only in business to business, and you don't know nothing about the commercial brand. You don't eat the brand, you don't wear the brand, you don't, I don't know, use on your skin the brand. So for these companies, is very important to have this employer branding, because they need professionals, they need good employees, they have to have a good retention rate there. But this is made only if you have this employee value proposition. And actually, during our 4 weeks, we will try with the students and also with the invitees to build this, to develop an employer value proposition for a known brand, or maybe for a not so known brand, but it's important to understand the process, how you build this, because it's not only about having like a page on the internet, having there the job roles. You have to be active on LinkedIn. Maybe if you want to attract, for example, Gen Z employees, you have to be more active on TikTok or on Instagram, because they are there. You have to understand their values, because are different of our values, like millennials and Gen X and Z and so on, and Alpha, and we have lots of generations. And this is about employer branding is about developing a strong brand for the company, and it's not the matter of like commercial one or B2B or maybe also public one, because also public institutions need employer branding. I don't know how in Brazil is or in other countries, but for example, in Romania, many public institutions, they don't have a brand, or maybe they have a brand but they have a bad brand, and people maybe they want to work there because I don't know, because they have more free time, but actually you don't want to work in a public institution, not in all but in most of them, because there are only, I don't know, very good people, very good professionals, and so on. And it's important also for these companies, if they want to attract good employees and in a professional way good, you have to have also a strong employer branding. And it's important also for startups, because maybe our students want to develop a startup and they will say, okay, we don't need an employer brand for this. But although you start in a garage, because it's like the myth, you start startups in a garage or in an apartment, after, I don't know, 6 months or 1 year, you will receive money from investors, and you receive a lot of money, and you have to have also employees. And those employees have to know something about you. And I don't know how in other countries is, but for example, in Romania, lots of professionals are saying, okay, we don't want to work for startups, because startups mean that they will give us low wages because they don't have money. But this is like a myth, because as I said, you have behind you or with you a large VC who's investing in the company million, or I don't, maybe also billion, depending on the startup and on the product. And you can have the surprise that you are better paid than in a corporation that is established since 90, I don't know when, or 100 years ago. And actually we have to talk also about these aspects. And as I said, it's important also for a startup to build an employer branding and to understand lots of stuff from human resources.
Well, so what you're saying, or what I'm getting from what you're saying, is that all companies actually, or all business, should be aware that employees, and especially the newer generations, maybe have different needs, and that needs to be included into the value proposition. If not, they are not able to retain the talents, even though that they would have skills that would be very different from older generations, let's say.
Yeah, actually, we have to see this human resources department, project, or how you want to call it, as a product. And in order to have good employees, you have to know the market. The market are actually the employees from different generations, and you have to understand their behavior. After that, you have to offer them something like a value proposition in order to come to you and to buy your job, depending on what domain or field we are talking about. Then you have also to offer a price. This is the wage, is the benefits, and so on. And you have also to promote. In order to know about you, you have to promote this. And it's about blogs on the website, it's about having ambassadors on LinkedIn, maybe people working as an ambassadors at different events, and so on. It's not, as I said, maybe you are the best employer, like having good benefits and very high salaries and so on, and a very good building with very good hardware and so on, but nobody knows about it. And then you won't have like employees and talents who will come and innovate and so on, because lots of the companies right now need brains to innovate, lots of them. So if you want to attract this kind of talent, then you have to have also a brand, because nobody or actually those who are very high skilled and well prepared, they will look also for brands. It's like also in universities. you look for a university that has a brand, because you want to study there, because it's about reputation, it's about trust, it's about leadership, because you know that, I don't know, presidents of countries study there and so on. And actually we have to do this kind of to understand different perspectives and to give the brand the real the real spot and the real place. And it's also something interesting, you know, for example, when you buy a company, what do you buy? The assets or the brand? You buy the brand always, because as you can have a machine, you can have some, I don't know, a laptop and so on, but it's not about the assets themselves, it's about the brand. Okay, that's from my part. Maybe you have also another perspective, Monica, or other questions.
I would just add that, as you said, just to rephrase it, it's not just about the product that you have. It's not just about the great process that you have to build the product. It's also about the people that you hire and the community that you build around your brand. And yes, you do not buy assets. You do buy the brand and what it means to everyone.
Yeah, and you buy, okay, with this you buy also the people from there, because you need talent, and this like is a practice for large corporations to acquire to buy startups, because they have their innovators, they have also the solution, they are also very flexible, and they have to, it's easier for them to acquire a company, a startup, than to, I don't know, to develop a new department and so on. Are lots of aspects that we can discuss during our 4-week meetings. I think we don't have enough time, but we will give like a flavor, as is important for the students to also to go in the libraries or on the internet to look after this topic. And actually I think is also in other countries not so developed, and is a place, is a space where you can grow and also to become a professional. Because okay, we know nowadays we have brand specialists a lot, and they develop very nice brands on the market, but you need also this kind of perspective from of the employees.
Absolutely, you're bringing to us the importance of looking, taking on the people perspective rather just the material or the resource perspective, understanding that maybe like if we circle back to the COIL project, maybe different people from different cultures, from different contexts, from different generations might have different needs, and that's all what companies need to be aware of when they do value propositions for the employees, right? So what are you expecting that our students, like I understand there is a lot of content that they will take out of it, and that you're really talking passionate about employer branding part. I'm excited about the project, so I'm just wondering if what you feel that would be the impact of the international collaboration beyond the the content specific part of the employer branding, if you want to add to that.
Actually, I think that, or I hope, actually, it's like only a hope, that we will have in Romania some of the students who will come, I don't know, with a project and to study here maybe 1 month, 2 months, and also students from Romania that who will want to come to Brazil or to have like an international experience, what is very important from my perspective as a lecturer, they have to think from our students' perspective. They have to think in another language, this is English. And I think it will be a plus for them to be exposed also to another language, and also to express their thoughts in other language, and actually to have like an international project about, for example, they can have a team can have a company from Romania, and then they can study together about their employer branding, and maybe having different perspectives for the recommendations, and also vice versa, taking a company from Brazil and bringing recommendation from our market, from our perspectives, and so on. Okay, we can be like, we have like a common ground as people, but for sure we have also lots of different perspectives, and from these different perspectives we can develop innovation, we can develop new projects. Maybe we will see the need that somebody from Romania can come to Brazil and to work together for a startup, or from other part. I told you about this Civica project we had in June. Yes, in June it was. And as I said, we shared experience from our entrepreneurs to the students. And after we had this interaction, I said, okay, we share the knowledge, but it's more than sharing knowledge during these projects. Is also about economic diplomacy, because you understand better the culture, and also how you can work with those people from those countries you interact with, when it's not only about having like the institutions of the ambassador or ministries and so on, going there and exposing something, a problem or a topic, or I don't know, a relationship they want to develop. Is it during this kind of project is about also this diplomatic relationship and economic relationship we can establish in order to grow together. Okay, so it's a little bit beyond our topic, like employer branding, but we have to understand that we don't work in silos. Okay, we speak or we are trying to share our knowledge about human resource and employer branding, but we have to think 36 degrees in order to understand the big picture, from geopolitics to the company, and then to the people who are working in the company.
I would just add that, in my opinion, they will be pleasantly surprised to see how similar the cultures are, the Brazilian culture with the Romanian one. That was my experience, at least.
Okay, nice. Maybe we will talk also when you have the class, Monica, about Hofstede and the studies about cultural aspects and so on.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. And I'm looking forward to participate, and I'm looking forward to for November to come in order to start our project. And I'm sure that it will be not only one time when we will meet, when we can develop also other projects together in order to make our countries a little bit more coming narrow.
Bonding, creating bonds, right?
Although we are, I don't know, miles and miles away, but during due to these projects, we can do it.
Absolutely. And just to wrap it up, to get to the end of the life, and to respect all the time that you've invested in it, if is there any curiosity that you would like to share with the students, just in terms of warming them up, like cultural differences, personal experiences on international collaborations, and so on?
Yeah, actually, I will share one. As I said, I work for this large company, for IBM, and we were a center of marketing here in Bucharest. We all know foreign languages, English, and also another one. And once we received some guests from US, and they were very surprised that we are talking so good English. I have colleagues that who are talking better than I'm speaking English, and I don't know, French and Spanish and German and so on. And they said, okay, but you are a poor country. How it is possible to know these languages? And you look also very, I don't know, you have good clothes and so on. And actually, they know about Romania, something that happened during the communism and after the communism in 1990, and they had that image. But we were in 2015, I think, but they still had that image about Romania. But after they known us and they started to speak with us, the same was also with German colleagues. Lots of them said, okay, they heard some stories at the news, but as I said, in 1990, after communist fall, and they had the same idea about Romania. And they said, no, look, okay, maybe we have some problems and so on. We are still a young democracy, but we speak different languages, we attend universities, we read books and so on and so on. And after this, because we used to talk only via email and maybe via some internal chat, and after some years we had this kind of video calls and so on. And it was also for me surprising, because they were educated people and they had to know about the country they come to work with a little bit more. This is like this is important to have this kind of projects in order to understand better the lives of the people we will work with.
Absolutely. I mean, we had that experience, kind of an experience with our students from different countries in Africa in the MBA program, where we're kind of, in some kind of an ignorance would think like, yeah, Africa, but there are like so many different countries and
Yeah.
so many different, differences within countries and between countries. Like just this week, we received a student from South Sudan, and she's telling me that like there are differences within the own country. Some still have tribes while others don't have. Some still work at a kingdom kind of matter, others don't, and so on. So it's important for us to get actually studying and understanding about each other, and um, working on that cultural awareness. Monica, you were going to add something. I'm sorry.
I would just add the fact that it's going to be easier for the students to learn as they have similar ages. So their interaction will be much easier. It's not going to be just me or Adina talking to them. It's going to be them working together. And just as an advice, get ready to be surprised. This is all I can say as we prepare for the November class, for the November project.
Well, wonderful. I'm excited and can't wait for November to come to launch the project.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm also very excited about this project and looking forward to meet your students.
Thank you
Because
so
our
much.
students I know already.
Absolutely. Thank you and have a great afternoon. Almost evening, right?
Almost evening, and also
Yeah.
have a great summer ahead, because we still have some months of some weeks of summer, and we have to enjoy our vacation.
Absolutely. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you
Okay.
so much for making time being here with me.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
All the best.
Goodie.